Hello, my young learners. Welcome back to Simple Learning. In the last video, we had discussed the chapter on the Union Legislature. It was a discussion of the further reduced syllabus, and now today we are discussing the President, the Vice President, the Prime Minister, and the Council of Ministers. So that is the overall lesson on the Union Executive. So I would like to clarify in this video that we are basically marking the further reduced syllabus, and it is not a detailed discussion of the syllabus, but yes, we will be making videos on discussion of chapter wise details that are there in your syllabus. So for now, this is a discussion of the further reduced syllabus. So when we see the council syllabus, you can see that this year the council has reduced the syllabus a lot, and I would like to show you the syllabus from the council website so that we can discuss it along with the book. So this is a part of the Union Executive which you are supposed to do, and accordingly we will mark it in the book, because in the book there are so many headings that they become a little confusing. Okay, now if you see the same thing in your book, we will mark accordingly. So you start with the President, the introduction. You will do the qualifications for election of the President of India. All these qualifications are listed here. Then you have the composition of the Electoral College which elects the President of India, and here you have to keep in mind that there are elected members of the both houses of parliament and elected members of legislative assemblies of the states, including National Capital Territory of Delhi and the Union Territory of Puducherry. The important thing to note here is that these are elected members. So when you write about them, you have to write the word elected as a keyword. There is more detail of the elected members given here. You can see this, and that is all about the Electoral College. Now the manner of election is not in syllabus, so you can cross it out. This all you do not need. Single transferable vote is not in syllabus. Then in syllabus you have reasons for indirect election of the President. Here you can mark certain keywords, like if he was elected directly, then he would become a rival center of power to the Council of Ministers. This would be against parliamentary system of government with ministerial responsibility. Second point is the election of the President merely by a majority of members of Union Parliament could make him a nominee of the ruling party like the Prime Minister, and such a President could not represent the Union states in the constituent form. So basically he should not be a nominee of only the ruling party, and that is why he is not elected directly by the people of India. And then the next point is that he is elected by an electoral college. In India, the electoral college is formed by the elected members of the two houses of parliament and state legislative assemblies. Such an electoral college makes the president elected representative of the whole union, because everybody who represents the different states and the different union territories, they represent the electoral college and they elect the president. So he becomes a representative of the whole nation in this indirect election manner, and these are the reasons for his indirect election. Then you will be doing the oath of office. I would suggest you to read this, though it is not directly given in syllabus, but sometimes in short answers they might ask you that who administers the oath of office to the president, and that is the Chief Justice of India. Term of office, as we know in government jobs mostly in India, it is a term of office of 5 years, which is a normal term of office from the date on which he enters upon his office. Vacation of office, he may submit his resignation letter to the Vice President and he can resign from his post, and such a resignation will be communicated by the Vice President to the Speaker of Lok Sabha. Another important thing in the chapter, children, is the procedure for impeachment of the president. The whole procedure, please understand and do this procedure carefully, because it in itself is a question which may be asked for 4 marks. Thereafter, we start with the powers of the president. So as per the powers of the president, you are doing only 4 powers, that is executive, legislative, discretionary and emergency. You can see the council syllabus. Right? So if you see in the book, you will do executive powers. Then you will not do diplomatic powers, it is out of syllabus. All the executive powers you will do. Then you will move on to the legislative powers. Legislative powers has about 7 points given here, which you should all do. That is dissolving the Lok Sabha or nomination of members to Rajya Sabha and Lok Sabha, giving assent to bills, and a very important power is, children, the promulgation of ordinances. So what are ordinances? Ordinances are executive orders or temporary laws which are made by the president at the time when the parliament is not in session. Right? So details of the ordinance are also given here, how the ordinances are promulgated and how they lapse, and also he gives assent to some state bills. After that, there are financial powers. You are not doing the financial powers, not doing the military powers, not doing the judicial powers. These are all out of syllabus. So financial, military and judicial powers are out of syllabus. Then moving on to discretionary powers. This is important. So discretionary power has 3 main pointers given there. All 3 you might have to write in a 3 marks question. So understand the discretionary powers, that is where the president uses his own discretion to decide on the situation. Then we have a very important thing, that is emergency powers, the 3 kinds of emergency that the president can declare, which is national or general emergency, breakdown of constitutional machinery and financial emergency. So you should know the definition of all these 3 emergencies, and then one by one the book tells you what are the circumstances in which particular emergency can be declared, what can be the duration of that emergency, how it can be extended, and what are the effects of that emergency. So effects of general emergency are given. Then you have effects of emergency in a state. Also, the examples are given, but you do not need to learn these examples for ICSE. So you can, leave this point. But then you have the financial emergency, circumstances, again duration, and also the effects. So all the emergencies, why they are declared, those circumstances you have to learn. Then you have to learn for what duration they are there. And then you have to learn what are the effects of that emergency, like where the fundamental rights are curbed, or what is the effect of that emergency in case it is declared. As per the reduced syllabus, you do not have to do vice president at all. So you can cancel out this part. All this you can cancel. So you are only focusing on the president and his powers. Stay tuned for the next video where we will discuss, in the next part of the video, we will discuss the Prime Minister and his Council of Ministers, and it is actually a very important part of your syllabus for the upcoming year, because last year has focused mostly on the president. So please stay tuned. Thank you.